The next type of images are multispectral and hyperspectral images. These images captures data across multiple wavelengths, including those beyond the visible spectrum. In multiple spectral images, they have typically few bands like red band, green band, blue band, and infrared band. While in hyperspectral images, it contains hundreds or thousands of bands, and that provides detailed spectral information. Basically, the multispectral images captures information across limited numbers of spectral bands, usually 3 to 10 bands, like red, green, blue, and additional band like infrared. And this hyperspectral images has hundreds and thousands of spectral band. Let's say instead of having red band, it has multiple narrow bands of red, multiple narrow bands of green, blue, and other wavelengths which is beyond our visible length. Now here I have used this spectral band term many times. So what does this spectral band means? So basically a spectral band represents a specific range of wavelength of light. Our human eyes can see light in visible spectrum only, which is from 400 to 700 nanometers. But there are other ranges too. Like infrared have wavelength which is longer than 700 nanometer, and ultraviolet which has wavelength shorter than 400 nanometer. So this is the spectral band, and the multispectral and hyperspectral images captures light across this multispectral band, including visual and non-visual wavelength. Now you might having the question that how this type of images is being captured. Now the multispectral and hyperspectral images are captured using specific sensors that can detect light across a specific wavelength. For example, multispectral sensors are often mounted on satellites, drones, and cameras. And hyperspectral sensors are more advanced and typically used for scientific and industrial applications. These sensors uses filters and prisms to split incoming lights into different spectral band, and then each band is captured as a separate image, resulting in a separate 3D cube data. So the image is being stored as 3D cube data, where two dimensions create a 2D image and third dimensions represents the spectral band. So the same image of frame we can have with multiple spectral band. Now the question is, where is the application of this type of images? So the multispectral images can be used in agriculture field to monitor crop health using some infrared cameras. It is being also useful in earth observation, like identifying land covers types like water, vegetations, or urban areas. It is also being useful in monitoring environment like pollutions or deforestation. And if we talk about hyperspectral images, they are being useful in, let's say, mineral exploration, like identify materials based on their spectral signatures, food quality control to detect contamination or quality issues in food products, and medical imaging to detect diseases or abnormalities in tissues. So this type of images is useful for very specific purpose. Here I have shown you multispectral and hyperspectral images. Now we'll move ahead. But before we move ahead, there is a quick short question for you. And the question is this. How do you rate the information given about multispectral and hyperspectral images? Do you find it useful or not useful? Write that thing in comments below. So once you are done with that, now we'll move ahead.